Your microphone, sir. Good afternoon. This is the Board of County Commissioners meeting. It is Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. It is 2:01 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. I'm Carolina Mejia. I'm the chair of the board. Vice Chair Ty Menser is excused for this meeting. He is at a salmon recovery retreat today. Commissioner Gary Edwards to my left, County Manager Ramiro Chavez, as well as Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell, and Clerk of the Board Jamie Caldwell are joining us here in the boardroom. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Commissioner Edwards.
And I, in turn, am going to ask Ben Todd Miller to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, if you would, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next is the approval of the Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022 agenda.
I would move to approve the agenda today, Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Oh, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Next is the approval of the board meeting minutes from April 26th.
I would move to approve the board meeting minutes from April 26th, 2022.
I'll second. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Oh, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menser's excused. Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. We have two presentations today. The first one is the proclamation for Military Appreciation Month.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This afternoon, I believe you have the privilege and the opportunity to proclaim May 2022 as Military Appreciation Month in Thurston County. We have here in the boardroom veterans and representative veterans organizations, as well we have in the Zoom meeting county employees. If you are here for the proclamation on the Zoom meeting, could you turn your camera on? Thank you, Mark, for doing that. So at some point, I will introduce you individually, but first we go with, if I may, with members of in the public who are here for the proclamation. If you can come to the podium, introduce yourself, and say a couple of words.
Members of the board, good afternoon. My name is William Powell. I am the chairperson for the Thurston County Veteran Coalition Board, Advisory Board. And this right here, month, Appreciation Month, which was signed in 1999, give every citizen in the United States the opportunity for this whole month to tell a veteran, thank you for your service. Even those the ones who didn't get the word, thank you for your service from Vietnam. So all you veterans out here from your federal veteran, thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rob.
Thank you. Anybody else in the boardroom who would like to come to the podium related to this proclamation? Kurt?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Kurt Harden. Sometimes I hang my hat as the Emergency Services Director. Sometimes I hang my hat as the Interim Public Health Director. But I want to talk with you right now and say I want to say thank you to all the veterans out there, all who have served, are continuing to serve. Military Appreciation Month is significant. And I would like to say, first of all, I think Thurston County is a great military community. I think they're very appreciative of our military members out there. We're a Purple Heart County. But I also want to point out that less than 1% of the population will put on the uniform to serve in the United States military. And that's really significant. And honoring those who have served, who continue to serve, and who have served is really special. The people on the screen are veterans. And I want to say thank you for your service. people in this room, I want to say thank you for your service and the fact that, thank you, Commissioner, and the fact that what you do to honor everyone. The last thing I want to say is to the families and friends of those veterans, of those who continue to serve, we could not do this job without the support of our families and friends. So they are the unsung heroes out there supporting our military service members. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to the Zoom screen, and I'm going to give you the floor if you'd like to provide a perspective from your end. Mark?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Mark Moffitt, Program Manager at Public Health and Social Services. Kurt and I think alike. This county is a great county for veterans. That's why there are over 30,000 of us choose to live here. The sign that Commissioner Edwards brought to the forefront, Purple Heart County, we're only one of a very few in the state that are a Purple Heart County. And it's also representative in our neighbors and our friends when they thank you, when they find out you're a veteran. People are very appreciative of what we do. And again, saying some things that Kurt said, whenever I talk about veterans, I always deflect that attention to families. We can't do what we did. We got to do a lot of fun things, maybe dangerous, but looking back, we can all say there were a lot of fun things that we got to do because our families were strong. They were supportive of what we were doing. And we really need to thank them for all the support that they've given us. And I want to personally thank my two daughters. Over the 24 years I spent in the Army, they went through many moves from schools and homes, my deployments, and they were very resilient. And I want to thank them personally, Sydney and Madison, for their sacrifices. And the last thing I want to do is introduce you to the new program manager for our veterans program, who oversees it, Lanice Milam. She has been around the military all of her life. Lanice, would you like to say a few words?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mark. It's going to be a pleasure working in this program. I'm so looking forward to it, and I thank you all for your service. As Mark stated, I do come from a very heavy military background, and with my family, my children, my father, my spouse. So I do understand that support, and I'm looking forward to working and serving the community the best way that I know how. And I look forward to working with you all, and thank you, Mark.
Thank you. Meredith?
I just want to say thank you, Commissioners, for the opportunity to present this proclamation. I am really grateful for my fellow veterans to be on an incredible team here on the IMT, led by two military veterans, and got a really great team over here. So thank you very much.
Erin?
I just want to say thank you as well for recognizing the veterans in the community. And I'm so thankful to work with so many incredible veterans here in Thurston County. And I just want to say thank you.
Right. Bruce?
First Royal Fleet Services Manager and Army veteran, thank you for taking this opportunity to recognize the veterans in the community, as well as honor those who died while serving in the U.S. military. I appreciate taking the opportunity to present this proclamation.
Thank you. Keith?
Yeah, hello. My name is Keith Looker. I'm with the Lacey Veteran Services Hub. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all the veterans, active duty service members, and their families that reside here in Thurston County. We appreciate all the sacrifices you have made for your country. And I'd also like to say thank you to Thurston County and the Board of Commissioners for all the support that you've given to the veterans and allow us to do the work that we do to help the veterans in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Patrick?
Hey, everyone. I just want to say thank you for the proclamation that you're about to inform us about. And also, I just want to say thank you for recognizing all the veterans.
Thank you. Anybody else in the boardroom? That's it.
Commissioner Edwards?
Okay, are we about ready for a proclamation? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, sir. I guess I would like to add, really thank you to all of our active duty service members, our Veterans Advisory Board members, and our staff who showed up today. as we go through this proclamation. You know, the freedoms and security we enjoy really aren't free. You know, your families know this. I have several family members who serve, and, you know, I know this as well. So just thank you, and we're so proud that you have chosen Thurston County to be your home. I'm ready, sir.
I do believe that the chair, Commissioner Mejia, aren't you going to a dinner tonight recognizing veterans and new recruits?
Yes, sir. Today at St. Martin's.
So we appreciate that. I will say, as a Army veteran myself of more than 50 years ago, so I'm getting old, I really do appreciate what the military service brings to all of us. Commissioner Mejia said it pretty plainly that freedom is not free, and I think we recognize that more than others. And Kurt hit it right on the head, though. We couldn't have done it without the support of our families. So it really takes a community. Gee, that sounds like I might agree with Hillary Clinton or something. Sometimes it takes a community to make it all happen. Anyway, I'm prepared for a proclamation, ma'am. Military Appreciation Month. Whereas the freedom and security that residents of the United States enjoy today are a direct result of the bloodshed and continued vigilance given by the United States Armed Forces over the history of our great nation. And whereas the sacrifices that such members of the United States Armed Forces make and the family members who support them have preserved the liberties that enrich this nation. And whereas in 2004, the United States Congress passed a resolution proclaiming May as National Military Appreciation Month, calling all Americans to remember those who gave their lives in defense of freedom and to honor all our armed services veterans and active duty members together with their families. And whereas the month of May was selected for this proclamation because we celebrate Loyalty Day, Public Service Recognition Week, Victory in Europe Day, Military Spouse Appreciation Day, Armed Forces Day, and Memorial Day. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Thurston County Commissioners hereby proclaims May 2022 as Military Appreciation Month in Thurston County and encourage all residents to show their greatest appreciation for our military. Adopted this third day of May 2022, your Board of County Commissioners. Thank you. You know, Madam Chair, being I'm the reader, can I make a comment on something that we've missed a little piece of, and I just want to comment on. Today is also Corrections Officer, the beginning of the Corrections Officers Week. And we're going to be recognizing the emergency services. I just thought, you know, we have a law enforcement officer today. It is very important to recognize those folks that work within our correctional facilities around this country and here locally, obviously, their sacrifices that they've been involved in as well. So I just want to take this moment to recognize that.
Could I ask the veterans in the room to come to the front, have a picture with the commissioners, please?
Sure. Sounds good. I might break the camera. Hell, I'll have to put my hat on for that. Yeah. I don't want you to be the only one up here with a hat.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Our next presentation is the proclamation for Emergency Medical Services Week.
Yeah, at this point, I will ask Ben Miller-Todd, who is acting as the interim Emergency Services Director, and he will have a few words as well as introducing some of the guests today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Commissioners, for having us today. We're a little bit ahead of schedule on ours. I'll remind you that EMS Week is the 15th through the 21st of May, but we're also getting prepared to send this out to all the agencies throughout Thurston County. I did want to, and you're going to hear from 4 of our over 700 providers throughout Thurston County that help to serve the Thurston County EMS community and all the residents of Thurston County over the course of the last 48 years. Medic One was established in 1974, has run continuously since that point, and this county is unique. It was the first county-wide tiered system, which means we're better at working together, I would say. We have 15 agencies in the county. 3 of those are public. 3 of those are our public partners. 12 of those are our public partners. 3 of those are our private partners. We run 7 full-time medic units and over 140 total apparatus that respond to emergencies throughout the county every single year. I also want to take this opportunity to call out our partners, Airlift Northwest, the 2 hospitals that serve this county, Capital Medical Center, Providence St. Peter's Hospital, as well as Centralia Hospital that helps to serve the Thurston County residents in the south. Emergency management and TCOM also fall into that as we support an end-to-end structure to make sure that we both deliver the services in the EMS setting as well as deliver the patients to the hospital effectively, efficiently, and have the best patient outcomes that we can possible. We ran 37,837 total calls in 2021. This was a 14% increase from 2020. And we're on track in 2022 to clear 40,000 total calls in EMS. We ran 287 of those calls were for cardiac arrests. 26 of those survived that cardiac arrest and went on to go home to their loved ones. That's due to the dedication and training that these providers and the dedication they have to their community throughout the course of their careers. I do want to call out that EMS or care doesn't necessarily just start at the call to 911, but there's also bystander CPR that we provide to the public through the EMS levy that can be registered and signed up for through the Medic One office. And so we encourage you to reach out if you haven't had CPR training in order to start that continuum of care to help save lives over the course of time. With that, and we're going to move on to, we have 4 individuals that have joined us from various departments throughout the county. I'd like to invite them up, and if I could have all 4 of you up here. And they're gonna recite their name, agency, how many years of service that they've had in Thurston County, and then why they're most passionate about the Thurston County EMS system.
Thank you, Commissioners, for having us today, and guests and veterans. My name is Karen Weiss. I'm the Assistant Chief of Emergency Medicine at Lacey Fire District Number 3. I have been blessed to be a provider in this county for 27 years. I always make the joke, I started so young, I have no other marketable skills. This is the only thing that I've done, but I'm fiercely passionate about our county and about the service that we provide to all of our residents in the county. I was told that I say one thing. My favorite thing about being a provider in Thurston County, honestly, my favorite thing is the collaborative effort that we have both with Thurston County Medic One and every single one of the agencies in your county, that how seamlessly we all work together to provide emergency medical care to our residents. I did my EMT training in Thurston County in 1995, and that was funded by the Thurston County Medic One levy. I now teach EMT class and get to teach new EMTs every year from volunteers from if you live in Thurston County, there's a volunteer fire department or a paid fire department that has an EMT that has been trained in our county and has provided just an excellent level of care. I then moved on and was blessed to become a paramedic in our county as well, and have worked for 18 years as a paramedic, also in partnership with all the agencies in Medic One. And it is an incredible way to work, and we are all very lucky to have this system in place that we have. So thank you for all of your support, and thank you to the citizens for all of their support, of all of our agencies. So thank you so much for having us.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Chris Patty. I'm the Assistant Chief of Operations at McLean Black Lake Fire District Number 9. I, as Karen, have been blessed to be in this county for 24 years as a provider. Started out very young. And Karen pretty much stole just about everything I was going to say about our providers. But I will add that the one thing that we are blessed by is the way our county operates seamlessly amongst organizations and the high level that we're able to, high level of care we're able to provide without boundaries. It doesn't matter which district we're going to, if we're responding mutual aid or we just happen to be at a very major incident, we all show up at the same place. That standard of care is extremely high for any citizen of any area of the county. And that goes just based on our training and our belief system of always providing the top level of care to citizens in our county, no matter where we're at. So through the system, we're able to provide that for our citizens. Thank you very much.
Afternoon, Commissioners. Sean Crimmins, Operations Chief, Tumwater Fire. So ditto to what they said. But yeah, I had 30 years. I have 30 years in EMS. I had the good privilege of working for other counties too, so I know kind of how other counties operate, and this county is pretty unique. Echoing what they've said already, the collaboration and teamwork that happens in this county doesn't happen in every county. So our citizens and taxpayers are well taken care of. Our 700 field responders do an amazing job every day. So I thank you for recognizing this week, and I thank the providers for everything they do. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Michael Hughes. I'm from the Olympia Fire Department. I've been a paramedic there for about 13 years. Or sorry, I've been a paramedic for 13 years. I've been with Olympia for 8 years. So just like Sean, I've had the ability to work in other counties, a couple other counties working in EMS. And Thurston County is just top notch. It's the place that we all strive to shoot for. When I worked private ambulance as an EMT, there would be Thurston County protocol books all over the place for people studying, wanting to be in this system. And since I've been here, it's just been incredible. The dedication to training, the thorough patient care, everything that we do. I mean, Medic One helps us out quite a bit, and we thank you all for allowing us to be here. Thank you.
I have one last piece. It's a little bit of a bittersweet EMS week. We do have Annalee Drury that's here with us. And I noted that that Medic One levy passed in 1974 and has been continuously active since 1974 for 48 total years. Annalee has been on the Medic One payroll for 30 of those. And she will be leaving us, unfortunately, in July of this year. And so I also wanted to recognize Annalee's contribution to the system as well, in terms of the coordination, training, and dedication that she's shown all the providers since she worked in District 6 all the way up through the Medic One office. And so I wanted to recognize her contribution to the system as well, and all the coordination that you heard from in our providers throughout the system. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Edwards?
Annalise, how many years? Total.
We agreed on 1990.
Total 30.
You know, I just want to say we are so fortunate, you know, if you just think about this, right here in the room with us, we've got well over 100 years service with just a few of the 700 that are here actually serving us in this community. And obviously we can't have everybody here and recognize everybody, but the thought is there, and I can tell you, I'll speak for the citizens of Thurston County, really appreciate the service that we're provided. So thank you all very much for all you do on a regular basis.
Yes, I will echo Commissioner Edwards' words. Thank you. You were thanking us, but really, thank you. I know these past couple of years have been really difficult. You've been having to constantly adapt. And the fact that you've been able to still be collaborative, still be trying to find the best way to partner with our hospitals is just, it just speaks to, you know, who you are and the talents that you bring and the experience that you bring. So thank you so much. And, you know, thank you to Ben too. You know, he's been doing a great job as the interim and definitely keeping me up to date. So Ben, you know, also thank you to you and the role that you're filling in right now.
Thanks. They make me look good.
With that, I'm ready for a proclamation, sir.
You know, and I might mention that Steve Romines kind of guided us along pretty good. He's no longer here with us, but boy, he set the groundwork for what all of you are providing now. So, lest we forget that. So, a proclamation for Emergency Medical Services Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service that provides life-saving and supporting care to the citizens of Thurston County, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas emergency medical services teams, including emergency physicians, nurses, first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, educators, dispatchers, administrators, and others give selflessly of themselves for the care and welfare of others. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas the people of Thurston County recognize the need for and initiated a countywide emergency medical services system in 1974, and whereas it is appropriate to recognize, honor, and promote the value of the accomplishments of emergency medical services teams and the Thurston County Medic One Emergency Medical Services System by designating Emergency Medical Services Week. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Thurston County Commissioners hereby proclaims May 15th through the 21st, 2022 as Emergency Medical Services Week in Thurston County and encourage all citizens to join in this observance. So thank you all very, very much.
Can you please come to the front for a picture?
See if you can break the camera. Good job.
Good job, man.
Where do you want me to stand?
Ben, you want to stand in the middle?
You don't want to switch.
Hey, Kurt.
All right, ready? 1, 2.
Good job.
Still need another signature. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our guests. That concludes our presentations. Next, there will be an opportunity for the public to address the board. The Board of Thurston County Commissioners welcomes comments from the public. However, there are some guidelines governing such comments to ensure they are appropriate and do not take advantage of the fact that most meetings are televised. The general speaking guidelines are as follows. Please introduce yourself, including the address you reside in the county. Please address the board, not the audience or staff. Please silence your cell phones for those in the boardroom. Speakers are limited to a total of 4 minutes to address the board. Meeting attendees cannot donate their speaking time to another person. No comments that are lewd and offensive, inflammatory, hateful, defamatory, or discriminatory in nature. Please be respectful. No outbursts of any kind. No comments that are commercial in nature, such as promotion of a for-profit business. All materials provided to the county may be considered public records, subject to public release upon request pursuant to the Public Records Act, Chapter 42.56 of the RCW. No remarks about pending land use permits or similar matters that could eventually come before the Board of Appeal. Thank you so much for your cooperation. The first person I have on my list is Mr. John Pettit.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. John Pettit, I live on Rich Road, Southeast. You know, I sent in a little bit of anticipated comments, but I think I'm going to do a little bit of a change up because in reviewing where we're at with issues, I thought, well, you know, I've been writing these letters in, I've been requesting your county manager, assistant county manager to provide some answers, and all I get is crickets. Nobody wants to answer a couple simple questions. They're both here today, so if you choose, you can just address them, and they can probably answer these questions really easy and quick. One of the letters I sent in recently was referred to as the $10 million question. And it has to do with the procurement policy that Thurston County has. Now, that procurement policy that Thurston County has aligns with state law. And state law has very specific elements. In fact, even the procurement policy, I think it's on page 8, provides in it that there's a process that if people don't follow it, that they avoid it, that they basically have to be removed from office. And that goes to public officials, whether elected or other officials that maintain some type of position. So the questions that I had directed had to do directly with the proposed 10 million potentially that was done during a motion for the atrium project. So in that particular motion, there was a process that should have been integrated. And so perhaps you could have them even answer right after I get done or when public comment is was the atrium project, did it go through a process as required by the procurement policy? And if it did, when was it advertised for those bids for tenant improvements? In fact, when was it advertised regarding the leasing of real property, which is under the scope, which is a requirement for a procurement policy? And that way, by dictating that, they can tell us when it was actually went through the process and put out for formal bid for competitive bidding. But the other side of it is they might say, well, this would be exempt. Well, in my letter, I provided you all the possible exemptions, and there's not one single exemption that would be available in the policy. And let's go for this. The exemption requires a waiver. A waiver requires a resolution. You don't get to just say, we're exempt. We're just free. We don't have to do it because we're the commissioner's office. All waivers that would be generated for any type of procurement policy has to be done by resolution. So if we're lacking having that information about that someone considered it to be exempt, they can tell us when the waiver was created. I've looked through every resolution within the time frame. There hasn't been a waiver. So I'm kind of wondering, where's that at? So this is all really important stuff because I don't want us to have to see commissioners or even county employees have to forfeit their office because they failed to follow the process. That's part of law. It's part of the procurement policy. If people have integrity, they follow the policies. And you know, I happen to know that Commissioner Menzer also signed on to that policy. So please ask your county manager to be open and answer the questions requested by myself, the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I have Joe Hanna.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Joe Hanna, East Olympia, Rainier Road. I'd like to start with a personal comment to the two of you. I watched today's planning meeting this morning, and I appreciate that we've gotten past middle school bickering. So that's all my personal comment. Today, I want to talk to you about the Ag Advisory Committee as the chair of the Ag Advisory Committee. We're down to 6 members. I've sent you a letter about this, asking you to appoint the two, at a minimum, the two applicants that we've given a thumbs up to at your request for a recommendation. 6 members is concerning to me. 6 out of 11. Our bylaws say 45% is a quorum. So 3 people present becomes a quorum. We follow Robert's Rules of Orders for small groups when necessary for voting purposes. That means 2 people become a majority. 2 people give you recommendations, advice, opinions from the Ag Advisory Committee. In theory, it could be as little as 2 people, while you are insisting on diversity. How is 2 people giving you a recommendation for this entire county diverse? Appoint, please appoint those applicants that you have. I know on your agenda today you have, or next week, you have a number of appointments to boards and commissions that you're going to do. You've had one of the applications for 8 months now. Your own words, very highly qualified applicant. Keep him on file for next time we have an opening. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Mr. Bill Powell.
I think he signed it, but he was for the Veterans Proclamation.
And last, I have Mr. Terry Ballard.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. It's amazing to see, by the way, I live in Tanglewild. I'm a 35-year veteran with over 29 years towards an active duty retirement. Retired in 2012, 10 years ago, in June. It's amazing to see out of 295,000 people that very few show up for this meeting. I guess they're not concerned with their taxes, their tax revenue, or the state of this county. That's kind of weird to me that we would have that. And any way we can get another 5,000 in there, I don't think they just stopped at 295,000, but any way we can get another 5,000 in here to add to our population, whether they're a legal immigrant, a voter, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. However you get it, I just want 5,000 more people on that pit report so we could get 5 commissioners. And like he mentioned, we have 2. That's two that vote on almost 300,000 people. That's kind of really bad. I'm not going to tell you wonderful things. I never tell you wonderful things. Okay? Why is that? Because problems I address don't get handled. They don't get addressed, and you could care less. That's my opinion. Everybody has an opinion, but nobody has facts. And here are the facts. The facts are, oh, by the way, to all you veterans no longer serving, welcome home. To all those still serving, thanks for your service. I was fortunate to see the new person running the Veterans Fund. That's really nice. But where's the commissioner on that board? I guess veterans aren't important. Okay, it's run by your Social Services Department, but that person is exclusive to the fund. She is not for an additional duty in the health department. She's not for an additional duty elsewhere. She exclusively draws from that fund, and she should be running that fund. The last person to help out 2 veterans per month when Kitsap County is more spread out than we are, and they're doing at least 60, if not more, a month drawing, and they have an accurate account of everything. Here they just find it in a graph to put it all into one, okay? And we have $1.3 million in this fund. Come on, people. There's a lot of veterans, more than 2 a month out there that need help. And we don't need to add this amount to any more programs that are already funded, okay? That are already funded by your social services department. In this program, in this policies and procedures, I will say this. It's great when they don't have an income and you require them to have the state food and be on Medicaid before they can draw from this fund if they show no income. I guess the homeless don't have an option like that, okay? And out of the homeless, 74% of your homeless here, as far as your PIT report, point in time, have a drug addiction. 4% have mental health problems. So 78% need help. And what are we doing to get them off the street? What are we doing to get them off? We just pay for their food, pay for their lodging, like that tiny home camp down in Olympia, okay? And they continue to live out there for free. You give a person a fish, he will eat for a day. You teach him how to fish, he will have food for a lifetime. You're not helping these people out by providing them free needles, free everything. You're hampering them from going on and to be a person of service to the nation and a person of service to this county. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Would you like to provide testimony?
Good afternoon, Christina Janis. I reside in the northwest corner of the county. A couple things. I just wanted to reach out and say thanks. I know he's not on the camera today, but Josh Cummings was our speaker at our Government Affairs meeting for Thurston County Realtors, and he gave us a really nice update and struggles. You know, it's nice to have some reality based in there, but it was a really great meeting, and I just wanted to say as Realtors, we thank him for coming and kind of letting us know the state of permitting as it is. So thank you for that. And this is your first early invite. So mark your calendars, July, went straight for the 4th of July weekend. June 14th, Flag Day ceremony, Lacey Flag Pavilion. We are having our annual event there. So I do hope you all can make it out. Look forward to seeing you. It's always a wonderful event, and it kind of goes along with.
What time?
It starts at 4 p.m. and we'll have the VFW color guard and all that there. So hope to see you guys there again. It was a really great ceremony last year, and we do it every year. Guess what? Date never changes. It's always Flag Day. And as a military spouse, retired military spouse, thank you for the military appreciation. It does take a village, and ironically enough, every time my husband was PCS somewhere overseas and we were moving, he magically went to training for 2 months. So I was left moving the households and the kiddos. So yeah, no, it does take a village. And I just thank you, all the men and women that have served and are still currently serving. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go to the Zoom screen, and I believe the only one that I recognize from the public is Mr. Esther Cronenberg. Would you like to provide testimony this afternoon?
Yes, it's Mrs. Esther Cronenberg. Yeah, from Green Cove Watershed. The threats to water quality in this area persist. The Northwest Environmental Advocate case established that the waters of the Puget Sound are not being adequately protected by the Department of Ecology. In case you didn't read about this case that I sent you, here's what happened. Quote, EPA's waiting for Godot approach cannot be justified with the framework or purpose of the Clean Water Act, Federal Judge Peckman said. The judge pointed to Washington's longstanding failure to protect aquatic species, citing EPA's having acknowledged Washington's feeble efforts to timely comply with the Clean Water Act, while the federal agency itself has unreasonably abandoned its role for years. EPA's failure presents exceptional circumstances. The lawsuit identified many toxics as not having been updated as required by law, including aluminum, ammonia, arsenic, copper cyanide, and others. Many of these toxic pollutants have been implicated in the deteriorating status of fish and wildlife in other Pacific Northwest states. Looking at Thurston's County IPM report. It appears the use of aluminum has doubled in Thurston County lakes since 2017, from 45,312 fluid ounces to close to 100,000 fluid ounces. And this does not include the huge amount that was put into Black Lake this past year at considerable and lasting expense to the taxpayers. Other herbicide use has also increased. Less than 200 pounds were used on lakes in 2016, and in 2020 that went up more than 10 times to close to 3,500 pounds. Drew Tahard, policy director for Beyond Pesticides, took a look at the county's plan. He saw the lakes program was the most significant driver of pesticide pounds used, and that the herbicide regime being used despite rotation wasn't working. Many of the herbicides used are highly toxic both to humans and aquatic species. Herbicide use can harm more than the weed or pest being targeted and can alter both biotic and abiotic factors, leading to a range of further complex problems that require additional management. The pounds of pesticides used and lack of evidence of success necessitates a significant rethinking of the lakes program. Is the county looking to native vegetation in terms of replanting these areas? Attempting to clear space in these lakes without a plan as to what fills that void is likely to result in the continued need for some sort of active human management. The county does have a plan it's not implementing, the 2015 Guiding Growth Plan, but it's done nothing so far to control the contaminated stormwater. It's not looking at alternatives to chemical use. Thankfully, the county finally will check the septics on the southwest part of Black Lake, but there needs to be an active septic monitoring system in place like at Henderson Inlet. As Citizens for a Clean Black Lake said from the beginning, this short-sighted approach of more and more chemicals without knowing what they're doing will cause contamination of the lake and our drinking water. The strategic groundwater reservation is protected by WAC 173.591. What is the county doing to fulfill its legal duty? This is our drinking water. Has it even been tested? I've sent you lots of emails with concerns about Black Lake and our water resources. I've not even been given the courtesy of an acknowledgement from you that you've looked into this, read anything, or even plan to. Though I do note the attorney for the Black Lake Flood Control District has had several personal contacts with county staff protecting a flood control district that acts with no environmental oversight and uses chemicals that are banned by the county. Your inaction protecting the water resources.
30 seconds, ma'am. 30 seconds.
Your inaction protecting the water resources that your families drink is really disturbing. I hope you need to take this issue seriously before it's too late. Thank you. And I would appreciate a reply from any of the emails that we have sent to you over the last 5 months, saying things that then we found out later that you completely disagreed with, and we were not even given a notice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that concludes public testimony, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Okay. Next is the county manager's update.
I don't have any follow-up to it. Thank you.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
could I ask the county manager something, please?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Do we have legal counsel here today, sir?
No, she was having a medical procedure today.
I would like a question answered. Do we have a procurement policy here in the county?
We have a procurement policy in the county.
And have we followed that procurement?
I will appreciate that in an executive session, Commissioner. I will be more than happy to answer that.
I guess I'm curious why we can't just have a public yes or no answer that, yes, we're following it, or no, we didn't because of an exception. I don't understand.
I did answer Mr. Pettit's email earlier, and my answer to him was he has a threatened legal action against the county related to the 3000 Pacific. And I was advised by legal counsel that I will not be answering any questions related to this matter because of that.
Well, so you're telling me as a sitting county commissioner, you can't just answer me a yes or no question if we are following a procurement policy?
I will be more than happy to answer in an executive session, Commissioner.
But then the public never does get to hear the answer. That is my concern. And a yes and no isn't too bad. I mean, we're not asking that you explain anything.
So the statement that Robin made on my behalf 2 weeks ago, all the allegations that has been put forth related to the 3000 Pacific has been addressed during executive sessions. Under the advisement of legal counsel, we are proceeding within the context of the law.
Well, I guess I hope this doesn't go into the legal arena, but
Did you try to get in? They just went completely past you.
Esther?
Oh, yeah, there's someone that was trying.
okay, well, if we don't have legal counsel here and I can't get an answer, I guess the question stands mute for today, but I don't understand that, to be honest with you. So I'm in the minority, I realize that, so thank you.
So moving on to consent items. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, there is.
Excuse me, commissioners, there was someone who was trying to call on the phone who wasn't able to get in. It's still on hold.
Yeah, we don't have a phone option this afternoon.
No phone. That's a problem. Okay.
No, we have advertised this meeting to be in person and in Zoom, as you said, join us this afternoon.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
You want me to go to the consent items?
Yes, sir.
Due to the fact that we've only got one consent item, I guess I'll just make a motion because I think it's important that we recognize our volunteers. And in this case, I believe it's going to be an appointment. Is that right, County Manager?
That is correct. It's not a reappointment. It's a typo on the agenda, so it's an appointment.
Okay. I would move to appoint Ellen Windett to the Lewis Mason Thurston Area Agency on Aging as a District 3 representative for the term of 2 years.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, other than I really appreciate volunteers stepping forward to help us on all these committees.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer is excused. Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to department items. Public Health and Social Services. Item 4A is a Home American Rescue Plan contract with U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And Jacinda Stelgis is here. Jacinda?
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Excuse me. Jacinda Stelgis with Public Health and Social Services. Today, before you guys, just a brief description of the home ARP. We are asking for that grant agreement to be executed. Excuse me, for your guys' authority for that to be executed. So Thurston County was awarded a Home American Rescue Plan grant in the amount of $3,053,476. This is to be used for housing activities. The funds came from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and they must primarily benefit individuals and families who are homeless, at risk of homelessness, fleeing violence, or otherwise vulnerable. Funds can be used for development and support of affordable housing, tenant-based rental assistance, provision of supportive services, and acquisition and development of non-congregate shelters. The county may also use up to 5% of its total award for administrative and planning costs, including the cost to prepare an implementation plan for how we will implement the grant funds. To receive the funds, the county must engage in consultation and public participation processes and develop a home ARP implementation plan. Among other things, the plan must include an assessment of unmet needs of the beneficiary populations and assessment of the gaps in the housing and homeless services system. Once the implementation plan is drafted, our office would come back before this board and the public to gather public comments regarding how the funds will be applied, the specific projects. We would then also submit that plan to HUD as an amendment to our program year 2021 annual action plan. These funds must be used by September 30th of 2030. And again, today I'm just asking for authorization for us to execute that grant agreement. I am here for any questions or clarifications.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No, I think we've covered this adequately. I'm ready for a motion if you are, ma'am.
I'm ready, sir.
I would move to approve the grant agreement between Thurston County and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for the Home American Rescue Plan, that's Home ARP, program for $3,053,476, and authorize the county manager and interim director of public health and social services to sign the agreement and any amendments that do not change the amount by more than 10%.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer is excused. Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Motion passes. Our next item is a fiscal year 2019 HUD Annual Action Plan Amendment. Jacinda?
All right, so the HUD Annual Action Plan Amendment, Program Year 19, just as a little bit of background, the county was awarded a total of just over $1,700,000, $1,700,099 to be exact, again, from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in CDBG COVID funds. That was awarded as part of the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security CARES Act. Those funds must benefit low-income populations, and they must prevent, respond to, or prepare for COVID-19. The amendment before the board today is to move $300,000 in CDBG CV funds from the COVID-19 testing and vaccination activity to the quarantine and isolation, leasing, and operations activity. This amendment, we did hold a 30-day public comment period, a little bit more than 30 days, which occurred March 12th through April 26th of this year, 2022. There's also a public hearing that occurred on April 26th of this year, and no comments have been received in written or orally. So we are just asking that the board approve that amendment so that we can submit it to HUD.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, ma'am.
I don't have questions. Go ahead. I'm ready for a motion.
Okay. I would move to approve the fiscal year 2019 Housing and Urban Development Annual Action Plan Amendment. Approve submission of the amendment to HUD and authorize the interim director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the applicable program agreements and/or certifications.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer is excused. Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Motion passes. Next is the fiscal year 2020 HUD Annual Action Plan Amendment. Jacinda?
Thank you. So this, as mentioned, is an annual action plan relative to our program year 2020. Thurston County was awarded $833,841 in Home Investment Partnerships Program, or HOME funding from, again, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And we are proposing in this amendment to move $133,276 in home funds from the Low Income Housing Institute Fleetwood Apartments Rehabilitation Project to a newly created Low Income Housing Institute Martin Way Phase 2 project. And I do just also want to mention again with these projects, there was a 30-day public comment period. Again, that also started March 12th and ran through April 26th of 2022. There's also a public hearing that was held on the 26th of April, and we have not received any written or oral comments. And both of these projects, though we are moving home funding from the Fleetwood Apartments Rehabilitation Project, that project is still fully funded and is still occurring. So it's not a project that we are losing units in any way.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner?
No questions, ma'am.
I don't have questions either. I'm ready for a motion.
Prior to the motion, ma'am, I would point out that we've had several work sessions and quite a few discussions on this, and for the public's edification, that's why I don't think we have questions from the board.
We also had a public hearing on these last week.
A pretty exciting one, if I remember. Okay. I would move to approve the fiscal year 2020 Housing and Urban Development Annual Action Plan Amendment. Approve submission of the amendment to HUD and authorize the Interim Director of Public Health and Social Services to sign the applicable program agreements and/or certifications.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer is excused. Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Motion passes. Next, Public Works. Item 5A is a resolution and call for sealed bids for the Woodard Creek Site Number 1 Water Quality Retrofits, project number 27W71. And Torin is here.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to speak to you today. The Woodard Creek Site 1 Water Quality Retrofit Project, County Project 27W71, adds a stormwater conveyance system and builds a bioretention facility and 2 proprietary stormwater treatment facilities at the intersection of 26th Avenue Northeast and South Bay Road Northeast. Currently, stormwater runs as sheet flow across the roadways and discharges into Woodard Creek untreated, which crosses under South Bay Road at this intersection. These facilities will capture and treat the stormwater, reducing pollution and bacteria loading into Woodard Creek, an issue identified in the Woodard Creek Basin Water Resource Protection Study completed by Thurston County in 2015. The estimated $698,000 construction cost will be funded with a $263 Water Quality Stormwater Financial Assistance Program grant from the Washington State Department of Ecology, with the remaining from the Stormwater Utility Fund. This project is in the 2022-2023 Public Works budget and the 2022-2027 Capital Facilities Plan. It is in alignment with the county's Strategic Plan Initiative number 7 to balance development with the preservation of the county's rural character, natural areas, and open spaces, and Initiative number 9 to support environmental health and climate stabilization. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, comments, Commissioner Edwards?
Again, no questions. We've been over this quite a bit. Thank you.
I don't have questions either. I'm ready for a motion, sir.
I would move to approve the resolution calling for sealed bids and authorize the county engineer to set the bid date and time for receipt and opening of said bids for the construction of the Woodard Creek Site number 1 Water Quality Retrofits Project, CP number 27W as in William, 71.
I'll second. It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Oh, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer is excused. Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Motion passes. Next, we'll go to our standing item. Item 6A, Commissioners will report on board work sessions and assigned committee meetings, providing updates on actions taken as well as upcoming issues. Commissioner Edwards?
I believe the only board meeting that I would be commenting on this afternoon is the Economic Development Council board meeting that we had on Wednesday, April 27th. And I would encourage anyone to, I believe that was recorded on a Zoom, and I would encourage anybody to watch that that's interested in how the new work ethic, if you will, or the ages of workers that are affected and who's dropped out of the work place per se, who's coming in, and mainly the effects of working from home and how that affects recruitment and retention. So I think it's a very important piece of how we're going to do business in the future. So I just think it would be worth observing that if possible. And then I did attend a recognition dinner for Ann Shipley to honor her many years of dedication and commitment to the Thurston County Fair. She's put in a lot of work over the years, and the world would be a better place if we had lots of Ann Shipleys doing their thing in Thurston County. So I think that'll be my report.
Thank you. I will report, I attended the JASCOM meeting as well as the Wausau Virtual Assembly yesterday. I had a meeting with Congresswoman Strickland. She came down to Tenino, so me and Mayor Wayne Fournier greeted her and showed her around Tenino and kind of the projects they have down there. We spoke about the Ag Park as well as the meat processing plant. And then I attended the Finance Committee meeting. And then on Thursday, I attended the Pack Mountain. Those, of course, my days were filled up with meeting with different groups, staff members. And my schedule is always posted on my Facebook page if anyone would like to take a look at it and see what I'm up to. With that, we will move on to item B. The county manager will review the Board of County Commissioners' schedule for the week of May 3rd, 2022.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me walk you through your combined schedule where at least 2 commissioners will be present. If you have individual appointments on your individual calendars, those will not be part of my report. Nothing for the rest of the day today. Beginning Wednesday, May 4th at 10:30 in the morning, you have been invited to participate in welcoming new employees to Thurston County. Also, you have been invited to participate at 5:30 in the afternoon tomorrow, Wednesday, May 4th, a celebration honoring Mr. Roy T. Hendricks. He is the president of St. Martin's, the Future Saints campaign. And that is going to be located at St. Martin's University, located in the Marcus Pavilion at 5300 Pacific Avenue Southeast in Lacey. Moving on to Thursday, May 5th at 11 in the morning, you have a briefing related to the treatment sales tax grant award recommendation. Thursday, May 5th at noon, you have been invited to participate on the Standing Racial Equity Lunch and Learning Series. Friday, May 6th, 8:30 in the morning, you have been invited to participate in Thurston Regional Planning Council meeting. And I believe Commissioner Edwards is the only one who attends that, TRPC. Friday, May 6th at noon, you have been invited to participate on a Medal of Honor for Deputy Andrea Moore, and that's going to be located on the 415 12th Avenue Southwest Olympia, Washington, within the Temple of Justice grounds. May 6th, 5:30 in the afternoon, you have been invited to participate on the Homes First Real Community Hero Award that is going to be held at the Heritage Distilling Company, 4200 Capitol Boulevard Southeast, Suite 104. Moving on to next week, Monday, May 9th, at noon, you have the Washington State Association of Counties Virtual Assembly. And at Tuesday, May 10th, you will convene back here at 9 in the morning for your agenda setting, followed in the afternoon by the Board of County Commissioners regular meeting at 2, and at 3:30, the Board of Health meeting. That's all I have for you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, with that, there's not anything else. Commissioner Edwards?
I would like to bring an item up for good of the order, please.
Okay. Go ahead.
I would ask the clerk to verbatim put the communication between myself and the county manager in the minutes for approval of next week's meeting. The interaction that we had about my question about procurement.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.